The Steam sale is here. Praise Gabe. So maybe the amount of items on sale in the Steam store is a bit daunting. Well, fear not. Most of it might not be your cup of tea, but how about we take 6 good deals which are a steal right now. This won't just be a list of the most popular games, but rather just good deals and games people still play today, and won't just allow virtual dust to gather on their newly acquired collection from the sale. So let us start from the cheapest to the more questionable amounts. Hotline Miami. So yes, it is an indie title, but not just your everyday indie title. So far there have been 2 Hotline Miami games launched, and you can get both for a mere 5 Singapore dollars, which should be around 50 Rand and $3 US. And I'm not going to go into great depth on each game, well, because mainly you guys have heard of them. I'm just here to remind you of them. Basically, Hotline Miami is a top-down shooter with gory mechanics and a kick-ass soundtrack that can force you to sit down in the menus and just aimlessly stare at your screen. Just to have in mind, the game plays better with a controller, but it is still playable with a mouse and keyboard. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or better known as CSGO, a community favorite and something that everyone has heard of. Currently it is on a 50% off bargain, although something of note, you cannot gift this game, seeing as Steam made that part impossible for the buyer. So if you haven't got CSGO on your system, now is the time to get the base game and later focus on your skin collection, even if you only have 4 skins. Going for $7.50 Singapore dollar, that would be in the region of $5 US and 80 Rand. In a land so vast you would get lost and not see your family, Skyrim has been around for some time now, and most people have sunk in so many hours they could have actually gotten a noteworthy degree. But alas, if Skyrim is no longer part of your collection, now is the time to purchase it again, or for the first time. With the remastered Skyrim launching in October, with some new curtains that will hopefully match the drapes, if you acquire all the DLC and the vanilla game, you're automatically in line to get the brand new remastered game when it launches. Which to me sounds like a good idea to buy Skyrim right now, and why not? After all, with all the mods out there, you can actually build your own story. The Legendary Edition is up for 20 Singapore dollars, so that's about 200 Rand and $12 US. If you like FIFA and kicking a ball around, well then this isn't even related to that. You drive a little remote controlled car, chasing around a big ball, trying to work together with teammates that will have more lag than skills. This is Rocket League, a game which is so popular and skill driven that you will not stop playing it once the master race gets to grips with controllers. So 40% price cut later, you can finally do tricks and shit to score for the first time in your life. For 12 Singapore dollar or 120 Rand, this time you can see the trend and work out the USD. But back to the point, it's a great title that will actually get played, much like you. Sticking to RPGs, and you don't have to be a fan of them to have heard of The Witcher 3. Well, now 50% off, it can finally be the reason to buy it, because of whatever reason you had before won't justify it. Seriously, one of the best games of last year. It needs some praise, and having received 2 major DLCs which in their own are completely new stories. Just buy the game and see what all the fuss was about. The game is 32 Singapore dollar and Rand wise close to 350 and 20 USD. But don't quote me on that exact figures, I don't have a Steam account in those countries. But if you are feeling generous, you can cough up an additional 30 Singapore dollar or 300 Rand and get all the expansions. Which, to be honest, even if you only walk out with The Witcher from this sale, will keep you busy for far too long. Let your lust-driven journey of pillaging begin, or slay some funky-ass one-eyed beasts. Overshadowed by Overwatch. But yes, Battleborn, a game created by the guys behind the best first-person shooter you will ever play. The guys that made cel shaded games look fancy and made us not care about graphics. They brought a game that was sometimes confused with Overwatch and no one even played it, but to be honest it's not a bad game and basically dumbs down Dota, so sometimes like League I guess, and puts you in the driver's seat of the victim. Having similar game modes such as a MOBA, so indirectly it's a first person MOBA, but with a gearbox flair to it. This had a 50% slash to the price, so in rands it floats in the range of 400, which yes, it still sounds expensive, but it's a nice title and should have gotten a lot more attention and players. Now obviously these aren't all the ideal games and all of you want the cheapest deal so that you can fill up your libraries and never play the games. But these are the games that did have a significant price cut and are actually worth having, and that you would actually end up playing in the end. Hope this list did help a bit and that you can go check out the games mentioned. Thanks for watching and see you guys real soon.